might be looking at the title and thinking, how? What record are you even talking about? How did you almost beat it? Or maybe you clicked on this video by accident and didn't even look at the title. In which case, hello, I'm Dogs. I play BTD6 a lot. Anyway, here's a story about the BTD6 highest round record. 4 months ago, I uploaded a video on this channel titled The New BTD6 World Record. I had done it. I'd achieved the world record, or so I thought. This is foreshadowing, by the way. I celebrated very humbly, but I knew my journey wasn't over. If someone like me, a random high school student with a bit of free time, could get this far, someone else could too. To properly tell the story, we have to go back to the 6th of May 2023, when Mac and Rules uploaded his video about his world record run. It was a huge accomplishment, beating the previous record by over 50 rounds. This video inspired me and heaps others to pursue Freeplay for ourselves. I joined Mac in Discord and started learning. From what I said in the last video, I reset a quite far run about 2 months ago and started a new one. Little did I know that while I was starting my run, another run was ending. For now, this run isn't super important. Freeplay in BTD6 has had a lot of changes. In early versions, it was very simple. Get a few tier 5s and you're good for the next 1000 rounds. Later on, it got changed so that the further you went, the harder the round became. I would include a detailed explanation of how the rounds are calculated, but that's for another video in another 4 months. All you need to know is that as the rounds increase, up to a certain point, they get longer. The health and speed of the balloons, all the balloons, increase, getting up to a maximum of plus 500% of that balloon's base HP per round, and plus 2% of the balloon's base speed per round. My run started on July 20th, 2024. I decided on Adora as my hero, as I believed her blood sacrifice ability to be better than Azili's Mob Hex ability or Geraldo's Paragon totems. I chose the map Logs because it's just objectively the best map for Freeplay. I don't have any footage for about the first 500 rounds, so you'll just have to take my word for it. I farmed hard to get lots of money early on. I knew coming into this run that I would be getting every Paragon and squeezing as many other towers inside temple footprints as physically possible. I ended up getting degree 91 on every Paragon except for Dart, where I got degree 92. I got every damage tower I had to 10 Ultra Boost stacks. Outside of the previously mentioned towers, VTSG, temples, and Sun Avatars, I had quite a few other DPS towers. I bought a Mad, an Inferno Ring, Grandmaster Ninja, Avatar Wrath, Supermines, Balloon Exclusion Zone, Tack Zone, Flying Fortress, Poseidon, an Elite Defender, and obviously a Century Champion. A lot of tier 5s were skipped in this run, mainly because I didn't see the benefit of having them instead of having another Temple, Savitar, or Overclock for another DPS tower. I also pretty much had every support tower possible. Cripple Moab, Perma Blue, Overclock / Ultra Boost, 2 support temples, Primary Expertise, Super Brittle and Embrittlement, Gluestorm, etc. The only other things worth mentioning in this segment is that for getting jungle drums on towers, I used a 204 village, as they have much more range than any other village, except for Primary Expertise, which is why I also had that down. I'm going to go on a little rant here about game design with BTD6, and Ninja Monkeys versus Super Monkeys for late game. It is not balanced in the slightest. Which do you think should be stronger from a game design perspective? A temple to the sun god, or a funny person with 5 shurikens? How are Bloons TD stronger than temples and sun avatars? They really shouldn't be. Ninja Kiwi's in the process of buffing temples, which is amazing. Thing is, even with those pretty notable buffs so far, all it did was make it so the most optimal strategy was using ninjas in the middle and temples on the outside. I don't mind having a hybrid being the meta, but this is not right. In my opinion, temples should be buffed even more, so that it's good to have them just in general, not just on the outskirts of the map. I know why Jitsu is so good. With max buffs, their damage gets about 15 times, and their attack speed gets like times 5. This is because they have low base damage but decently high attack speed. Temples, on the other hand, have much more damage, so they benefit much less from damage buffs. Pretty much the only way to change this is to either rework Temples completely, just give them way more damage or attack speed, or to nerf ninjas. Seriously, NK, how much money would I need to give you under the table to change this? Now that my setup is complete, it's time to actually play the game. Because I don't really want to pay for monkey money with real money, I created a macro to grind monkey money for me, so I can just pay for powers with that. I recorded a decent chunk of the gameplay, but later on I realised just how much storage it used up, so I recorded less of it. I ended up getting to around 609 quite quickly. I celebrated in Mackin's Discord, and made a video about it. I was confident that my run was the world record, because why wouldn't I be? No one had publicly said that they had beaten Mackin's record. Nothing could possibly go wrong, right? October 10th. Everything goes horribly, horribly wrong. An image was posted in Mackin's Discord by a respected member called Peter. It showed a submission on a website called Cyberscore for the Beastie 6 world record. Everyone seemed a bit skeptical of it, as the website doesn't really have the best reputation. I was asleep at the time it was sent, but when I woke up, I freaked out. I'd worked this whole time to get the record, only for it to have been beaten before I had even started. This is the one that I was talking about, by the way. Another user by the name of The Steel tried to track down the person who supposedly held the record, Happiness97. He couldn't figure out how to contact them, so he went into the Cyberscore Discord server. He just got told to make an account and send them a message. This is a message that he sent. Hi Happiness. Me and a few others have recently become aware of your record here on this website, and we're wondering if you could provide us with some more information about your run. More screenshots, video, explanations of the setup, and amount of powers you use would be nice. We would also like confirmation if at Happiness588580 in the Mackin Rules Discord server is you. We would just like to know if this record is legitimate. Thanks, The Steel. After a bit, he got a DM from someone called Phoebe. He asked Phoebe how they got their knowledge to do their run, to which they said they'd been doing impossible runs for a long time, and they'd been in Mackin's Discord until they got hacked and lost their account. The account, Mech Dragon, was in the server actively during the time Phoebe claimed. This seemed like enough evidence to conclude it. Pretty soon after this, some things began not making sense. Phoebe claimed it only took 30k monkey money. This was when Mech Dragon finally came online and confirmed some things. Mech and Phoebe were in fact the same person. I don't know whether they were actually hacked or not, but they were being used by the same person. It was also around then when we learned that Phoebe DM'd Steel after seeing the message in the Cyberscore Discord. Phoebe was not Happiness. It turned out that Phoebe did have a few high-round impossible games with powers, but they are not the record holder in any way. We don't really know why Phoebe lied/played into the idea that they hold the record. So the mission now, find Happiness. One person in Mackin's Discord, Jackalip, found that someone in the Discord used the username Happiness. This was the same person that Steel mentioned in his message to Happiness on Cyberscore. We tried pinging Happiness, nothing happened. So here's a montage. Never mind, we already found him. From what we've found and what Happiness has told us, it does look legit. He doesn't have a save file, so it's pretty much impossible to properly verify it, but it does look legit. Now that drama is done, it's time for me to get back to playing my run. I tried live streaming part of my run, but my game crashed twice, and I could only get through one round in 2 hours. So needless to say, I didn't do that again. Instead, I recorded every couple rounds. I'm going to quickly interrupt the time-lapse to tell you about today's video sponsor, the Freeplay database. The FPDB is a database containing the information about every seed, from round 141 to 1000. It was made by, I'm sure, a very handsome and lovely individual. It's going to be updated soon. I swear I'll update it soon. You can see the current version of the database on freeplaydatabase.org. As I went, I continued ultra boosting everything. And here is one of my biggest blunders of the run. I'd run out of damage towers to ultra boost, so I had the bright idea of ultra boosting the overclocks too. And as I did, upgrading them to the sentry guns upgrade. Sentry guns have a quirk that makes them much better than normal in late game. When a tower gets an attack speed buff, normally it just applies on that tower, and it gives them a boost in DPS of the percentage of the attack speed buff itself. However, for sentry guns, attack speed buffs affect how fast they are thrown out by the engineer, and how fast the guns attack themselves. This means that, say, jungle drums, which gives a 15% attack speed buff normally, would give a 32.25% attack speed buff. This isn't limited to just one or two buffs. In Freeplay you can get heaps of buffs. These buffs can make a huge difference in the DPS of sentry guns. It also makes the game way more laggy though. The only other change I made from here was to sell one of my temples. I sold the one in the bottom right of the screen. This temple had almost no pops compared to all the other temples. The reason I did this was so that I could sell and rebuy my Homeland Defense village, without sacrificing the 10 Ultra Boost stacks I already had on my existing homeland for jungle drums. I sold my existing homeland and call to arms. I replaced the homeland with a Monkey City village, and I replaced the call to arms with another sun avatar. Because when I was making my temples, I'd put the super monkey in the very corner, then put tech bots around it. The position was pixel perfect. I wouldn't be able to do that kind of pixel perfect placement at 1 FPS by myself, so I made a script to put my mouse in the spot for me. So this was it. This was my final setup, and I was going to beat round 700 with it, and secure that sweet record for myself. 60 rounds away, 40 rounds away, 20 rounds away. I was going to do it. December 20th. I was in the festive spirit. Family was coming over. I was projecting myself to beat the record on New Year's Eve. I knew Raxor upload. I knew he had a history with Freeplay, but I didn't expect anything like what happened. For anyone out of the loop, on December 20th, Raxor uploaded a video about him beating the world record. Fuck. It wasn't like the happiness situation, where he had beaten it by about 80 rounds. No. He was 280 rounds ahead of me. I was beyond demoralised. As of me writing the script on January 9th, I've played one round since that video was released. I knew that with my previous overclock blunder, beating 280 more rounds would take me over 300 hours. I was not willing to do that. And so my run just sat there, unattended for weeks. I was originally planning on stopping my run at around 750, because I wanted to try out some other late game variants like Chimp's Freeplay and Easy Powerless. The only reason I wanted to stop at 750 was to be number 1. If I can't do that, why stop at 750? Why continue the run? And yes, this is me having a minor mental breakdown over Monkey Game. So this is where my run is stopping. I've ended my run, and I'm going to be doing other things. Before I go, I wanted to say a few things. Firstly, if you wanted to learn more about Freeplay, I'd recommend joining Mackin's Discord server. It had the best players of Freeplay in it, including the current Chimp's record holder, Peter, a Ninja Kiwi employee, Rohan, and other less important people. I'm also very active there, so chances are if you ask a question, I'll be among the people helping out with it. The link for that is in the description. Secondly, the Freeplay database. It will be fully releasing soon, I swear. I just need to not procrastinate completely. Anyway, that's it from me. Have a good one, and see you in the next video in probably another 5 months.